Okay, so 1968. Some of you can think back to that. I wasn't around yet, but I'm just saying. 1968. There was 303 million high school-aged kids in the whole world. I know that's a big number, but now let's dwindle it down. Out of that, 18 million of them lived in the U.S. Okay, we're going to get smaller. Out of that, 270,000 lived in the state of Washington, 100,000 of them lived in the Seattle area, and only 300 went to a school called Lakeside School. Now, if you mathematicians, Ken probably did it already, 1 in a million chance that you went to Lakeside School. There you go. Out of 303 million students. Now, here's the unique thing about Lakeside School, is Lakeside School had a teacher that was just dead set on getting this new technology into this school. It was called the computer. It's a real story. And now, there's some universities had computers, but schools, high schools did not have computers. That was just not a thing yet. But this teacher was just so convinced. He said, guys, we need to get a computer on our campus. And he went to the school. He was a teacher, and the school said, no, we're not doing that. We don't think it's really going to be in everyone's house. Like, that's crazy. And then he went to the PTA. Where's Lisa? He went to the PTA, and they said no. PTA said, nope.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that.
I know. What you would have done is what they did. They said, fine, here's what we'll do. We'll do a rummage sale. We'll do a rummage sale, and we'll earn the money. And if we hit a certain mark, then we will get a computer. So they did a rummage sale. They scrounged up $3,000. And sure enough, they got access to a computer. Now, they didn't buy it. This was a rental. They leased access to the computer. And because this wasn't part of the curriculum, the students had to stay after school. They had to go in on the weekends. They had to go in at nights. So it took a lot of dedication if you really wanted to play with this computer. Now, it just so happens that a few students really liked it. Like, they were there every single day. And now here's a question for you guys. So if one of these students became successful, like let's just say they decided on a career, they ended up in a career in computers, which did not exist yet, but they just ended up being successful in computers, by a show of hands, and I'm going to have you vote, was this student lucky or hardworking and brilliant? So, hold on. So, raise your hand. Remember, there's a 1 in a million chance that you're at Lakeside School, and this is the only school, high school, that actually has a computer. Raise your hand if you think this student was lucky. Raise your hand. Okay. Raise your hand if you think this student was hardworking and brilliant. Mail-in voting with Ken over here. Now, there is a right answer. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. You see, it is easy to say that, oh, it's just lucky, or, hard work, you'll find your way. And if you were to sit down with that student and say, hey, look, you got lucky. Like no one else, literally no one else had this opportunity. You got lucky. I would say that student would have a fit. They would be really upset with you because this student worked real hard and they were also brilliant. Now, if you sat down with that student and you said, look, you were going to become successful. Like, you didn't really need Lakeside School. You had the brilliance there. You were hardworking. Well, I think that that's actually already been disproven because Forbes interviewed this person, this student, and he said, I already cut out half the field, it's a he. He said that if there was no Lakeside School, there would be no Microsoft because that student's name was Bill Gates. And Bill Gates had the opportunity of a lifetime, a literal 1 in a million chance to get this opportunity. So now, why am I bringing this up? I mean, you can't control your luck, right? No one here can say, well, I'm gonna get lucky and I work hard. But the truth of the matter is, we can't control our luck. You can go to Vegas and try your best, but you already know how that's gonna go. You can't control your luck, but what you can control is where you position yourself in the market and how hard you dedicate yourself to the work you do. And I just want us to remember that you are already you are already the luckiest person in the world because you are in this room, you're in the best industry that there ever was, and you get the opportunity to be in the lives of every single person in your database. You are already a 1 in a million chance to be this lucky. Now, here's the challenge is, are you willing to put forth the grit so that when that opportunity comes up, that you're ready? Because the truth is, history only remembers the people that are prepared when that luck strikes. So here's what I'd like us to do. I'd like us to do a toast, and you may already have an empty glass, so just hold up a candle, that's fine. Let's do a toast. Here's to acknowledging how lucky we already are, that we already won the lottery. You've done every single thing correctly to end up right where you are today, and every single person in your database, in your sphere, is lucky to have you. And may we have the grit, see what I did there, Robert? May we have the grit to stay focused and keep digging in on our craft. Cheers.
Cheers.